In the far corner of the galaxy, there was something ancient. It floated in space, massive, silent, and sealed. A gate. Not just any gate. This was something older than memory, older than stars, shaped like a ring, large enough to let a planet pass through. It spun slowly in the dark. Lights blinked across its surface, not like machines, but like a heartbeat. It had no name. Everyone simply called it the Forbidden Gate. Long ago, the Galactic Union had marked it as Do Not Approach. Every species followed the warning. Every race told stories of ships going in and never coming out, of voices whispering through combs, stars disappearing after the gate stirred. The warning was clear, carved into every language. It was sealed for a reason. Do not open. What sleeps beyond must never wake. And for 10,000 years, the galaxy obeyed until humanity arrived. The Pathfinder was a medium-sized human exploration ship. It wasn't built for war, wasn't even built for deep space, but it had something the others didn't: human curiosity. Captain Elena Cross stood at the front window. Her black uniform caught the blue light of distant suns. Her face was calm, but her eyes showed a hunger for the unknown. "This is it," she said softly. "The gate." Her crew stared in silence. Scientists, engineers, a few soldiers, they all knew the stories, but none of them had ever seen it with their own eyes. It was beautiful and terrifying, is it? "Calling us?" asked Dr. Malik, the ship's top scientist. "No signals. No energy bursts," replied the comms officer. "It's just there." Lena turned to her team. "We didn't come this far to stare at it. Begin scans. Full sweep." The ship's scanners lit up. Waves of energy, magnetic fields, radiation patterns. It was all wrong. The readings didn't match anything known. "It's like it's locked," said the engineer Jacobs. "Some kind of code, but it's old. It's very old." "Maybe we can break it," Alina smiled. "Then let's do it." 2 hours later, they cracked it. Not with brute force, but with pattern logic, human-style thinking. Creativity. The gate groaned. A sound echoed through space. Not a sound anyone heard with their ears, but they felt it in their bones. "It's responding," shouted Jacobs. Suddenly the lights on the gate changed. Symbols moved, shifted. A deep hum filled the ship's speakers. Then it opened. The center of the gate changed from black to pure white. A swirling tunnel appeared. A wormhole. A way into somewhere. Else the crew stood frozen. "We should call command," said Doctor Malik. "Wait for backup." Alina shook her head. "If we wait, they'll shut this down. The Union will seal it again. We may never get this chance again." She looked at the gate. It was alive now, waiting. Alina said, her second in command. This could be a trap. Her voice was quiet but firm. "Everything unknown is a trap until someone survives it." She gave the order. The Pathfinder moved forward. The gate pulled them in like a breath taken by the universe. At first, there was light, bright and endless, then dashed darkness. Everything outside the ship vanished. No stars, no readings. No sound. The gate was gone. Space was wrong here. The crew looked out the windows and saw nothing. Not empty space, but true blackness. Kind that seemed to press against the ship like it was alive then. They saw the wrecks. Floating all around them were broken ships. Hundreds, maybe thousands. All different shapes and sizes. Old, burned, twisted. Some had holes melted through. Others looked like they had been crushed by invisible hands. No signals. No survivors, whispered the comms officer. Some ships were so ancient their metals had rusted in space. And then they saw the most chilling thing. A large cruiser from the Caldari Empire, species that had gone extinct 5,000 years ago. Nameplate floated by "Last Light." Inside their system, the AI beeped. A voice played through the ship. It wasn't theirs. It was old, broken, and terrified. "We sealed it. We sealed it for a reason. It learns, it waits, it feeds." Then silence. The crew stared at each other. What did we do? Someone whispered. Captain Alina didn't answer. She stood still, eyes locked on the void beyond the window. She didn't blink, because in the distance, something moved. Something big. The episode ends there. Black screen. Just one sentence. You broke the lock. Now face what we sealed away. Darkness. It's total and complete. The Pathfinder floated in a space with no stars, no planets, no direction. Just cold silence and shadows. Captain Alina Cross sat in her command chair, staring at the black void outside the window. Her fingers were tight around the armrests. Around her, the crew worked quietly, almost afraid to speak. The gate behind them was gone. Not closed. Gone, like it had never existed. "We're trapped," said Dr. Malik. His voice was low. "We are explorers," Alina replied. "And explorers find a way." The ship's lights flickered. "Not now," said the engineer, Jacobs, rushing to the main console. "Our systems are fine, but something's interfering with power." "I don't like it. Try to boost sensors," Alina ordered. "Find out where we are and what's here with us." Outside the ship, the floating wrecks drifted like ghosts. Some were massive warships, others were small shuttles. All were dead. No lights, no movement, no escape pods. Just broken metal and forgotten history. Then something strange. One of the wrecks showed signs of recent damage. Scorch marks. "Fresh burns, Captain," said Jacobs. "This ship, it's not ancient. It's new. Maybe only a few months old." Alina stood. "Let's move closer." The Pathfinder slowly approached the wreck. It was a research vessel from the Shinari Republic, a species known for avoiding all danger. This was a surprise. "Why would the Shinari enter the gate?" Malik asked. "They didn't," said Alina, reading the logs. "They were pulled in." The wreck's outer hull had one clear message burned into it. "It found us." Pathfinder systems began acting strange. Lights dimmed, AI voices glitched, screens blinked on and off. Then the voice returned, same as before, ancient, broken. But this time it was clearer. "You shouldn't be here." The entire crew froze. The voice came from inside their own ship's AI. "Where is it coming from?" Alina demanded. "No source," replied the comms officer. "It's just here." Suddenly, the temperature dropped. Crew members felt cold air on their skin even, though life support was fine. One crewman began whispering to himself. I saw my sister. She died years ago." "Snap out of it," shouted Jacobs, shaking him. But the man kept whispering, tears in his eyes. Dr. Malik stepped back, eyes wide. "It's inside our minds. It's not a machine. It's alive." They ran a full scan. There was no life form aboard. No intruder, but strange energy signals. "We're now moving through the ship-like veins of shadow. Pulsing inside the walls. Something was here, watching, learning, waiting. Hours passed. No sleep. No peace. People started hearing things, voices from their past. Dead relatives, old friends, childhood memories. It wasn't real, but it felt real. Captain Alina gathered the crew in the central hub. "It's feeding on us," she said. "Not our bodies. Our fear, our pain. It's trying to break us," Malik added. "Before it takes us." Alina looked at them. "Then we don't give it what it wants." They began speaking out loud, sharing the fears, facing them. One by one, each crew member told the story the creature was using against them. A dead parent, a failed mission, a lost child, a war memory as they spoke. The ship's systems began to stabilize. The creature grew confused. It had fed on fear for thousands of years. But now, it faced something new, human strength and unity. Then came the scream, not through speakers, out, through ears. But in their minds, a deep, horrible cry, a sound of anger, of pain. Lights exploded across the ship. The windows shook. The Pathfinder was hit by a wave of energy, pure fear. One crewman collapsed. Alina held her ground. "No more games." She shouted, "Give me weapons. Give me shields. We fight this thing." Jacobs worked fast, using old codes and new tricks. We can use the ship's core to send a pulse. Not to kill it, but to push it back. Give us a window to escape. It's a risk, said Malik. I'll do it, Jacobs replied. But it's manual. Someone has to go to the engine room and stay there. Alina stepped forward, but Jacobs stopped her. You're the captain. You lead. I fix things. They locked eyes. Then she nodded. Jacobs entered the engine room. He began the overload countdown. Before the doors closed, he looked at the camera and said, If it gets out, tell Earth. Tell everyone. It's afraid of unity, of humans standing together. That's our weapon. Then the door shut, the pulse fired. A bright wave shot through the ship and into the void. The creature screamed again, but this time it pulled away. The darkness bent. For a moment, the gate flickered back into view. The Pathfinder turned and raced toward it just as the ship passed through. The gate vanished once more. The crew was safe. For now, but they knew the truth now. This was never a prison to protect them from what was inside. It was a trap. Trap for something the ancient ones had caught. And now, humans had set it free. The Pathfinder had escaped the void. Barely. But something had escaped with them. No one could see it. No one could trace it. But they all felt it. Something was wrong, Captain. Lena Cross stood on the bridge, her face pale and serious. The crew was quiet. Everyone felt tired, too tired. As if something heavy was pressing down on them. We should have never opened that gate, said Dr. Malik, staring at the floor. We survived, Alina replied. Now we find a way to stop it. No one spoke. Because deep inside, they knew. The thing they freed wasn't done yet. First, it attacked the systems. The lights flickered. The engines slowed. The AI, called Nova, began speaking in broken words. Protect, ... threat. Inside. Mind. Then it shut off. No errors. No logs. Just silence. They tried to reboot it, but it didn't work. It's inside our systems, said Jacob's assistant. Like a virus. No, said Malik. Viruses don't watch you. They locked down the ship. Sealed every room, but strange things kept happening. Doors opened by themselves. The food supply spoiled overnight. People started hearing voices. Again whispers in the walls, then crew members began disappearing. One by one, no screams, no noise. Just gone. Their names faded from the ship's memory, like they never existed. Alina stood in the sleeping quarters, staring at an empty bed. It belonged to Officer Liu. He was strong, brave now. There was no trace of him, not even his clothes. Malik joined her. It's feeding again, he said, and learning. What do you mean? Every time it takes someone, it gets smarter. It's using fear to erase them, not just from space, but from memory. Alina looked up, eyes cold. Then we need to remember them harder. The crew began writing names on the walls. Everyone who vanished, everyone still alive. They shared stories, laughed, cried, fought the fear with connection. It wasn't much, but it worked. For a while, then the ship stopped. The engines froze. Even though fuel was full, Jacobs ran to the control room and gasped. The ship was moving, but not. By its engines, they were being pulled toward something massive. In space, far ahead, dark shape appeared. It wasn't a ship, it wasn't a station, it was alive. A black mass. It's floating like smoke, but shaped like a beast. Shifting, changing, thousands of red. Lights blinked inside it like eyes. It didn't fly. It drifted, like it owned the stars. The crew watched in horror. It's here, Malik whispered. The thing that waits. The AI suddenly came back on. Nova's voice was soft, weak. No escape, no fight, only choice, erase or resist. Elena stared at the screen. We don't erase, we resist. She turned to the crew. We'll fight it the only way we can. She had an idea. They couldn't hurt the creature with weapons. It wasn't flesh or metal, but it feared unity. So, they opened every channel, radio, light signals, data streams, and they began broadcasting there. Thoughts, not fear. Not pain, hope, love, laughter, rage, human feelings, human strength. The bridge was filled with voices recordings of birthdays, weddings, music, poetry, even arguments and jokes. It was chaotic but powerful. The creature paused, its red eyes dimmed. Ship stopped moving. "It's working," Malik said. The creature shrieked. A silent wave of fury passed through the ship. One console exploded. Fire sparked. Someone screamed, but the ship held together. Alina shouted over the noise, "More! Give it more!" The creature tried to shut them down, but humans were stubborn. They rerouted power, restarted systems, kept sending out their truth, and something changed. The creature's body began breaking, apart like smoke caught in wind. It was being pushed back for the first time. It looked afraid. Alina gave the order, "Launch the beacon." They fired a small device into space. It began broadcasting on every galactic frequency. We opened the gate. Something came through, but we found its weakness. It fears what it cannot break us. It fears what it cannot control. Human unity. Prepare. It's not over, but now it knows our name. The creature disappeared into the dark. The stars returned. The ship's systems began to recover. Nova came back online fully. All crew accounted for, it said. Except Jacobs. Alina bowed her head. "He bought us time. We'll remember him." Leek added his name to the wall. Then he turned to Alina. "What now?" She looked at the stars ahead. "We warn Earth. We warn everyone. And we get ready. Yes. The thing that waits is still out there." The Pathfinder returned from the black unknown, but it did not return in peace. The crew was quiet. The lights on the ship were low. Captain Alina Cross stood alone in the control room, staring at the Earth far ahead. They had made it back, but they did not come alone. Behind them, somewhere deep in the stars, the creature still waited. It had tasted humanity, and it would not forget. Now, Alina had a choice. Warn the world and start panic, or keep the truth hidden and prepare in silence. She knew what she had to do. The moment they entered known space, Galactic Union ships surrounded them, 10 heavy. Cruisers, full weapons active. A voice came through. "This is Union Command. You broke the lock. Stand down and prepare for full investigation. You are under arrest for breaching forbidden space." Alina didn't flinch. She opened comms and replied, "We found something inside that gate. Something ancient. It's alive, and it's coming. Arrest us later. Right now, you need to listen." But they didn't listen. They sent a boarding team, Doctor. Malik stepped beside her. "They're scared. They think we brought it here on purpose. Then we show them the truth," Lena said. She sent the creature's data to Union Command. The lost ships, the erased species, the shadow intelligence. The recordings of fear and voices, the AI breakdowns, and the one clear weakness, unity and emotion, but union. Leaders refused to believe. One counselor replied, "This is human fear. Your minds broke. You saw illusions." Another said, "Even if it's real, Earth can deal with it alone. The gate is closed. Let it be." Malik whispered, "They want to erase it. Erase us." Elena's face turned cold. "If they won't prepare, we will." The Union blocked the Pathfinder's landing rights. They told Earth, "The crew is unstable. They may carry contamination." The world began to panic. Reporters called it the ghost ship. Conspiracy groups said they brought a demon. Fear spread faster than truth. But Earth's secret leaders, the old Defense Council, believed Alina. They brought her in quietly. Behind closed doors, she told them everything, and then she made a request. "I want access to Project Black Star." Everyone went silent. Project Black Star, a forgotten program. Buried under layers of secrecy, it was designed not for war but for survival. Built during Earth's first contact years, hidden deep in space, ships with no names, weapons powered by emotion-linked cores, AI systems made to fight things beyond logic. Council leader looked at her and said, "If you activate this, there's no going back." Alina replied, "There's already no going back." While the Union tried to silence the story, Earth began to quietly prepare. Old commanders returned. Engineers vanished into black sites. New ships were built and hidden. Yards behind Jupiter, they called them, the Flame Fleet. Each one powered not by simple fuel but by neural energy motions. Memories, human will. Only humans could fly them, because only humans had survived the thing beyond the gate. Dr. Malik worked day and night. He developed emotional shield tech armor for the mind. He told the council, "We don't need to defeat it. We need to confuse it, make it question us, make it fear us." But time was running out. Suddenly a signal was received on every Earth frequency. Not words, a single pulse. And with it, a vision appeared on every screen. A dark star bleeding shadows. Ships breaking apart in silence. Human faces vanishing. In smoke? Then, the words appeared. "You fed me. I hunger again." Signal vanished. Alina stood in the war room. Earth's leaders looked at her, waiting. "What now?" someone asked. She stared at the black sky above. "Now we stop pretending. The galaxy wants to hide. Let them. Earth will stand. Humanity will fight. Because if we don't, there will be nothing left to remember us." Camera zooms out. As Earth's secret fleet powers up, engines glow, weapons hum, and in the cold dark between stars, the thing that waits begins to move. The skies above Earth were calm, but deep in space. Something ancient was coming. The creature that once waited beyond the gate was now awake. It had tasted fear. It had learned. And now it moved toward Earth, faster than light. Not a fleet. A weapon, a living storm, and only one world was ready. Captain Alina Cross stood on the bridge of a ship unlike any other. It was called the EHS Vindicator, the first of Earth's flame fleet. Her hands rested on the controls, but it wasn't buttons and levers. The ship responded to her mind, her emotions. Her will behind her, 5 more ships prepared for launch. Each one had a human pilot linked to the ship's core. No aliens. Only humans could do this, Doctor. Malik sent one final message to Earth's leaders. "We can't run. We can't hide. But we can confuse it. Make it doubt itself. Make it fear what it cannot control." The council replied with only one word. "Go." Above Jupiter, the fleet turned toward the black sky. They launched in moments. They left the solar system. They flew with silent speed, faster than any known drive. Their goal, meet the creature before it reached Earth. And then, they saw it, a dark mass in space, wider than a moon, shifting, breathing, a shape made of shadows, smoke, and forgotten thoughts. Red eyes blinked in every direction. It was watching them inside the Vindicator. Lena gripped her seat. "Send the signal," she said. Each ship activated its core. Emotional energy burst into space, pure memory, pure feeling, hope, courage, pain, love. The creature screamed. It twisted. Its form shook, but it did not flee. Instead, it attacked. The sky turned black. The stars vanished. Each ship was pulled into a storm of noise. In memory, Alina saw her childhood, her family, her deepest fears. The creature tried to use her mind against her. But this time, she was ready. "I am not afraid," she whispered. The ship responded. Energy grew stronger. Each pilot shouted memories, feelings, stories. The creature was confused. It didn't understand this kind of strength pain used as power suddenly. One ship lost contact. Another was swallowed by darkness. 4 remained. Alina gave the order. "Bring it to us. Trap it in light." Ships flew in a pattern like a net. They circled the creature, blasting it with emotional pulses. Inside the Vindicator, systems burned. Lights flickered. The ship groaned. But Alina didn't stop. She sent one final burst of energy, her strongest memory, Her sister's last words before she died, "Live like you're not broken." The ship exploded with light. The creature screamed. It began breaking apart, its shape lost, its eyes blinking wildly. For the first time, it felt what humans had felt. Fear real. It's unstoppable fear. Dr. Malik activated the Beacon Bomba final weapon. Made of compressed memory signals, it wasn't a nuke. It was a truth bomb. When it detonated, the creature saw it all. Human love, human pain, human rage, human joy, human unity, and then nothing. The creature shattered, like smoke scattered in wind. Gone, the sky turned. Quiet again. The stars returned. Only 3 ships survived. The Vindicator floated silently. Systems offline. Alina opened her eyes, but calm its tone. "Done," she whispered, "back on Earth." The signal arrived. The creature had been stopped, but the message was clear. They broke the lock. We broke the beast. And if another comes, humanity will be ready. The Union tried to control the story, tried to bury the truth, but they couldn't stop it, because across the galaxy, whispers began about a world that faced a nightmare, and a species that fought not with gods or machines, but with memory, pain, and fire. Humans called it the day we burned the dark, and from that day forward, no one ever dared to open a sealed gate again.